Hey everyone, hope you're doing well. Today I'll be doing my best to present to you all my thoughts on Samuel Gawith St. James Flake, Virginia's and Perique, product of the House of Samuel Gawith and Co. Limited, Kendal, Cumbria, England. Manufacturers of fine tobacco since 1792. I'm not gonna read the warning, we all know, blah 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 blah. Alright, so this is one of the older tins. What I'll show it to you. It was with my friend. The rust is pretty bad, but the contents are, well, they're pretty good. So this is the plume, and the plume on this flake is pretty crazy. Yeah, I'll show you the other one. I got about 4 flakes and a little of yeah, the plume looks very tasty. Yeah, these are very tasty tobacco. Only thing is that it takes quite a while, it burns slow and has a little tendency to bite. Yeah, there it is. I spoiled it for y'all a little bit. I'll be smoking this in my beautiful Taken Mushroom, my favorite of all time. Got it from my friend who passed a long time ago. Yeah, so yeah, I prefer these kind of tins, but current Samuel Gawith productions, they come in the silver steel galvanized tins. Got a little bit of what I rubbed out for the previous flake, but yeah, that is how it is. And I'll let y'all know, go outside, pack a tin, and let y'all know my thoughts on it. Alright, we're back, rocking the Metallica Ride the Lightning shirt today. And I'm a little bit like more than halfway throughout the bowl. Just finalizing my thoughts. I'll wrap this video up and wrap this blend up, which I only have like 3 more flakes, excluding this one that I'm smoking. I had 4, now I had only like 3. Okay, so my ADHD brain forgot to bring my jar, so that's fine. I don't have to whiff it because I already know how it smells, because I've smelled it like quite a couple of times already. So for the tin note, I get like ketchup and vinegar from it. It's I'm guessing it comes from the Perique, the St. James Perique that they use. I get a little bit of a hint of a grass, and like I can get like some bakery sourdough kind of feel. But sometimes when I open the tin, the note kind of like, open the jar, it kind of reminds me of Rich Dark Flake. Another, like, it's my favorite blend of all time, Rich Dark Flake. Yeah, I get that that fruity, that rich fruity feeling, and especially some like that ripe bananas and like banana cakes. Yeah, sometimes when I open the jar. Nicotine wise, I feel that this is not very strong. I feel this is a medium blend at best. I mean, yeah, a medium strength blend. Yeah, the tobacco cut of this, as I showed you in the previous video, it is a very thick rectangular cut that it's really moist. It's just Samuel Gawith, they have a very they have a reputation of having really moist blends, which I don't know why, but overall I feel that this blend is pretty tasty. Let me just move it a little bit here in the side, yeah, so you know I'm more centered. Yeah, okay, so that's pretty much it. Room note, I do not know about the room note. It's pretty much unknown to me. Yeah, and oh yeah, I forgot to mention one thing about a tin note. A friend of mine mentioned, like, when he took a whiff, for him it kind of feels like as if like he's moving into a new home, or when somebody has like a more like a homecoming and stuff, where they do not have a lot of they just bought a new home or newly renovated a new home. It kind of smells like that for me also. When he mentioned it, I kind of get where he's coming from as well. So I just wanted to add that according to like the tin note as well. Moving on towards the mechanics, this is where it get really troublesome and tricky. As you can see, I'm already having a very hard time keeping this pipe lit as I talk, and even when I'm not talking, I find that this pipe is very tricky to keep lit. The only part where it kind of like, yeah, the only part where it kind of like gets slightly better is around the middle of the bowl. That's about it. But after that, like getting it lit is a chore. Keeping it lit like after the middle of the bowl is quite a chore. Yeah, and first and foremost because of like the, let me hydrate just a little bit and cool my tongue down. I think I pushed it a little too far. First thing first, like it's very thick, you see. Rubbing it out takes a while. For me, it takes about a good 10 minutes to rub it out, make sure it's all uniform and stuff. And even after I rub it out, it's quite challenging to keep it lit, quite challenging to get it to lit. So for my climate, because it's a very humid climate, I do not really dry my tobacco. I just smoke them as it is. And I'll be damned if I were to fold and stuff it. It's gonna give me way more problem, and I'm gonna probably take at least 3 to 4 hours to just smoke this one. So like this pipe is pretty big, so like I feel that the one flake is pretty much enough for one bowl all the way to the top. It lasts me, so one bowl can last me about 1.5 hours to 2 hours, or even sometimes even more than that. I just have to take my time with it. Yeah, so if you come from a very much more drier climate, yeah, by all means, please dry this tobacco. It really needs it. Really needs it. It gets better in the middle of the bowl because of the ashes and everything. Not to mention this pipe, this blend has quite a temperament compared to like full Virginia Flake. Full Virginia Flake was much smoother. I think it has to do with sometimes the batches of the tobacco they use. Sometimes it's nice, sometimes it's it burns evenly, sometimes it doesn't. Or it could just be a St. James Flake. Maybe if I were to get another tin, it might behave differently. Yeah, it's just a Samuel Gawith thing, perhaps. We will never know. For people and my viewers who are Samuel Gawith fans, just let me know if what I'm saying is true or not. And so when I smoke this blend, especially after a few puffs or even while lighting, it tends to burn my tongue, or you can feel it coming. So that's why I put it down for a while, and then I pick it back up and I'll put it back. I do this little dance of putting it down, lighting it back, having a couple puffs and enjoying. And that's how you get the most of this tobacco, because if you were to just try to deal with it like some STG cut tobacco, keep puffing, it is going to cook your tongue. Literally, it's going to cook your tongue. So yeah, cadence is very important. Just put it down when it gets hot. That's for me at least. Taste wise, this is where we are getting to the interesting part. Let me light this one more time. So for some lulls, I feel like this is quite a complex blend actually. Holy shit, man! I heard a woman laughing, and I really, man, I really start freaking out. Yeah, that was mad, yo. That was crazy. This is a very complex blend. Sometimes I get much more rich, grassy, and perhaps like more deeper molasses. There's like a deeper kind of sweetness that comes from this blend. But mostly when I first smoked my friend's stash, it was a very splendid blend. I really liked it. It burned pretty cool. Maybe it's the batch, maybe it's the leaf they use, kind of different leaf, or like the batch of the leaf. It varies from batch to batch, I feel, tobacco at least. So when you first light this, you get like tangy kind of flavors. There's that little tang, that ketchup, the vinegar. But as you delve in, as you like slowly sip in and you get into like the middle of the bowl, you get more like sourdough kind of like that vibe right there. I'm talking about like a lot of vines. Like you just feel like you're walking through a garden with like vines of like tomato vegetation, and there's like in the background there's some kind of bakery which comes to the front, sometimes it goes behind and then it comes back to the front. It kind of reminds me of like this sourdough bread that I eat at my workplace. Sometimes I work there part-time. So they have this dish called the San Marzano burrata. It is basically 14-year aged sourdough with created into a bun. The filling is basically like sauce made out of San Marzano tomato. And then there's burrata cheese on top, which is very flowy, and it's a very simple dish. It seems like a very simple dish. I don't know how complex it is to make it, but it's 14-year aged sourdough. Kind of reminds me of like the sourdough tomato flavor. It kind of reminds me of that dish. So yeah, a lot of like tomatoes going on. There's some kind of richness. Sometimes there's like the fruity note that comes in certain times when I smoke the blend, which is why I feel like this in fact is a pretty complex blend that it's not very straightforward to judge, I feel. Overall, out of like tobacco reviews kind of stuff, I would overall review it. I would give it 3. Yeah, I would give it 3 because it is quite troublesome. Yeah, the work it takes for me to keep it lit or smoke. That's why like when I smoke, I make sure I got time to spare. I make sure at least I got like about 2 to 3 hours tops to just sit down there and smoke this blend. And I'm in no rush to finish Flakes for this. Since I've reviewed it, I got 3 out of Flakes, so I can take my time to finish those Flakes. As you can see, I have at least lit this pipe about 10 times, but I'll not buy this tobacco again. Perhaps if I come across, maybe, or if I'm running out of tins. But definitely this is not my first choice. If you are going to give me a choice between full Virginia Flake and St. James Flake, I'll go for the full Virginia Flake. And if you give me a Jermaine's blend, for example, Rich Dark Flake, I'm definitely going for the Rich Dark Flake. But yeah, I might buy this blend again. It depends. But my overall review is going to be 3 stars. And yeah, thank you for following me and joining me in this beautiful review of this beautiful blend, which is Samuel Gawith St. James Flake, made from England, Cumbria, if I'm not wrong. I might be pronouncing that wrong. So anyways, have a blessed week ahead. For me, it's Sunday going to turn into Monday, and I got work the next morning. So I'll finish this blend up, which I think it's still about 15 to 20 minutes of smoke. Anyways, thank you for joining me. Hope you guys have a great week ahead. Goodbye.